Welcome to the program on this Saturday afternoon, November 22nd. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly known as Twitter. We are glad to have you on board, and thanks for making us part of your day. Special guest in house today. We worked back at CCF, the Cheesecake Factory, back in 2016. She was a manager back then, and I just got promoted to being a manager, and she took me under her wing, and I will never forget that. She's a jack of all trades, and in June started as a food rep for one of the largest family-owned businesses in Gordon Food Services. Leah, thanks for joining us today. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Sure. Before working at CCF, right? You worked at Brio, an Italian restaurant. What was it there? The environment, the people? How much fun did you have there?
You and I even talked about this. We had a lot of fun. It was reckless. I think I was just out of my teens and I found my family there, to be honest with you. Just we had a really good group of people, and every now and then when, I keep in touch with everyone and they always say like they could never find that anywhere else. It was just really unique. But, it was an Italian restaurant, it was an Italian chain. They had different locations. I think you were in, Ridge Hill. There was one Ridge Hill and Yonkers, West Hartford, and then managing there, I started as a server, but managing there, I was allowed to travel a lot too, so that was a lot of fun. The environment, yeah, we had a lot of fun. We were just a bunch of hooligans, pretty much. Even when I was promoted to manager, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of hard work. It was a lot of stress, but at the end of the day, we were just serving pasta.
Yeah. Not saving lives, right?
I mean, a little bit. So Brio is where I really fell in love with managing, and I quickly fell out of love. But you can affect a lot of people's lives in a positive way just by managing, whether it's the interactions with your guests or your server's guests, or even just how you interact with your team. It's is life changing in a way. I don't know if managers now think that way, but when I started, I was like, everything's golden, everything's beautiful, we're gonna change lives. Yeah, it was a good time. And then, reality hit.
Yeah. So and why did you make that jump into management at CCF? Was it at the right move at the right time? Thoughts on White Plains?
Yeah, so I feel like I left Brio with no intention of going back into management. I had stepped down. I think I'd worked like a side gig of serving and I worked at Starbucks for a little bit. And then I was like, I got the itch and was like, maybe I do want to go back. And it was through another manager at the time. He kind of was just like trying to motivate me to do it. I had applied, I had interviewed. I'm pretty sure during the interview I said I didn't want it and I got it.
Much for that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Training when you got to CCF, how intense was it back then? Did you like it at first or was like, what did I get myself into? 'Cause it's kind of intense, right?
It was intense, but also too, I was familiar with the corporate structure of restaurant training, restaurant management training. You kind of made it your own. You had your set of parameters that you had to hit, your checklists and everything, but it was as intense as you wanted it to be. I think I went all in pretty much, or I mean, I was studying every material they gave me, the recipe viewer, I forget what you call it now. It's been so long. I was in and out of that all the time. I was making the recipes at home. It was a lot, but it was like also you weren't like really responsible there because you were still in training. So it was fun. It was a good time, but it was strenuous.
Sure. Then myself and Corey came along, right? And
Yeah.
you really took us under your wing because we were kind of like lost. I mean, you really helped us out a lot, and I appreciate that. It stuck with me to this day. I'm so grateful for you for that opportunity you gave me because I worked at a place for 13 years in West Nyack, and I got there day one. I'm like, it's like a whole new world. I'm like starting all over again, like learning like a baby, right? Learning how to walk, learning how to crawl. And
Yeah,
I
it's a
was
different world.
so lost. And you said, "Hey, welcome. A coffee or anything? Grab a seat." I was like, "Man, this girl is fantastic. She's great." And I was like a lost puppy, and you pretty much guide me and Corey along the way, and it was just like fantastic. Your time at CCF, what are you grateful for the most looking back after all these years?
Like grateful for there are a lot of things that I'm grateful for there. Firstly, realizing that I didn't wanna do it anymore, pushing myself to the limits there and realizing, "Hey, that's not for me," and that opened a lot of doorways for me. But also too, the relationships I've made there, like, was managing them at the time, and they're my best friends now. Those are my ride or die, so I made a lot of great connections there. The Danbury and White Plains where I worked too. Um, but there was a lot. I mean, it was a growing experience for me, really testing my patience, testing my limits, like how mentally strong am I for this? There are a lot of different aspects of it, and it really shaped me into the part or had a part of shaping me into who I am today and guided my path to where I am now, for
Yeah.
sure.
Was there like a moment that made up your mind that you said, "Yeah, I'm leaving. I've had enough." Any regrets on your decision? Like it's over. I'm done. I can't do this managing thing anymore. It's done.
Is
What
James
clicked in your mind?
is James still at your restaurant? Does he still
James?
work there?
Yeah, he's still there. Yep, he's still
So
there.
you can
Yep.
ask him, and he'll always bring this up. I was so mad, and I don't even know what it was. I was on the line. He and I were managing
Right.
in Danbury, and I like threw my keys. I was like, I effing quit. Like stormed out, and I don't even know what it was about. I think I just like it was just all my buttons were pushed at the same time, and I was like, F that. And he laughs to this day. He's like, and you walked right back in and went back to work. So I've had like a lot of moments of that. And I think ultimately it took a toll on my body. It took a toll on my health. I was up late. I mean, most of the restaurant industry, you're wired from being like from that adrenaline rush the entire night. And, I was a newer manager, so I didn't really have much of the luxury of having opening shifts or mid shifts. It was a lot of PM closes. There were nights where with you, actually, like, we'd leave at, like, 3 a.m. because the dish pit was broken or some other crazy shenanigans, and, yeah, it was a lot, and, like, my sleep pattern was messed up, I wasn't eating healthy, and I just kept getting sick because I couldn't take care of myself, so there was a lot of other things, but it was mainly like, your body's telling you something, you should probably stop.
Yeah. Sure. What do you miss about CCF? Anything at all? What was your go-to dish there while you worked there? Was like your main dish? I have to have it. I have to have this dish.
A lot of those. My vice, I would say, would be, what do you call them now? The buffalo chicken, what are
Was it
those called?
Buffalo Blast?
Buffalo Blast, yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Those were one of my vices. Back in the day, it was like the kale quinoa salad with, I don't know if you still have that anymore.
Yeah, we don't have that
It's
anymore.
so far removed from Cheesecake Factory. I think since I left, it's been, like, maybe 4 times that I've went.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And then what did I used to do? I used to, like, doll up the, I forget what it's called. It was like the shrimp and angel hair with the lemon butter sauce, but it was, like, the lighter version. So I used to, like, add extra sauce and stuff to that. That one was a good one too.
Right. You stopped by after leaving, right? Does it bring back any memories at all? Do you keep in touch with anybody besides myself, James, anybody else?
Yeah, I mean, every now and then, some of the managers, a lot of again, the friends that I made there, they aren't necessarily there anymore. There's maybe like a handful, maybe yeah, a handful of people that still work at the Danbury location that I keep in touch with, but it's like school, like, people graduate and then they move on and they're not really thought about again, so I think it works both ways. Yeah, there are people I keep in touch with, and, it's the same story, it's the same struggles going on there, it's the same drama, nothing
Yeah.
changes.
Will you ever, ever today go back into management, restaurant management ever again, or you're just done?
In ways I kind of am and kind of am not. So, I mean, this past year, it was a little different. So, I was an ops manager for a catering company. I don't even know if I mentioned this to you. I was a manager at a music venue, a jazz club, which was incredible. That was an incredible experience. And then I managed my own business. And also, too, just like a little bit of what I do with the food service, being a rep. Not that I manage them, but I manage myself in a way of what I show them and what I offer to them and organization and stuff like that. So in a way I am kind of in it, but not, if that makes sense.
Right. In it, but not all the way in. Yep. For sure. Life after CCF, right? You went back to serving, needed to slow down, school didn't work out, ops manager. the country club, networking, finding your way. Tell us all about that at that time in your life.
Ooh, how long has it been since I left Cheesecake? So
About
9
9
years?
years. Yeah, 9 going on
9
10.
years. No,
Yeah,
wait, 9, no, that's when I started. 9, yeah, it's about well,
8.
about that, yeah, 8 or 9, yeah. Okay, so I should have wrote my timeline down. I feel like I lived so many lifetimes within that time frame. I
You have
really
so many
did.
lives. You're like a
I
cat. Yeah,
really did. I'm on my ninth now. Okay, so let's see, I left Cheesecake. Oh, well, I stepped down at Cheesecake actually. They allowed me to step down and go into serving. I started Cheesecake as a manager and left as a server, and it was really good. Because originally I was going back to school. Ultimately, that didn't work out. I forget why. I think I got another job somewhere else. I wanted to get out of the restaurant industry completely, just try to like cleanse my whole soul. And I went into insurance. So I was an insurance agent. I still am actually. And I learned the ins and outs of that. It's a whole different world, so important, like very important work. Yeah, so I did that for a while. And then what else came next? I'm trying to think what restaurant came next. I think then I went to the country club. Yeah, so I worked at Inglebrook Country Club in Upper Westchester. That job I found through another friend who actually she worked with me at Brio, Julie. So she was working there because she lives in that town and had mentioned it. And I was like, "What's gonna what is it gonna hurt? Let me see what's up
right.
with that." Ended up taking the job. What a great job! Like that, it had its struggles. Ultimately, it wasn't for me, but you meet the most amazing people. Just anywhere you go if you're willing to listen, I think, or
Yeah,
willing to be open-minded.
right.
So, yeah, I was at the country club, got some golf in. I was really just in it for the golf carts, I think. I mean, do you golf, Kenford?
No, I really don't. I really don't. I have like a little
Well,
mini golf thing in my backyard. I play around with it. That's as far as I go.
the most fun for me is the golf carts because you just, like, just ride around. Yeah, but I did a lot there. I don't even know what my title actually was. I think it was dining room manager, but it was a lot of other things too. I like doing a lot of events there. It was kind of a flop just because of there was lack of participation there, but we did like a casino night was really fun. We did a cigar night with John Stark's line and some other things. It was really cool. So there are a lot of cool people that I met there, people I still talk to this day, and I actually stop in there every now and then too, so it's fun. So after the country club, I one of my friends, I play on a pool league. One of my friends on the pool league has a catering company. And I think he was asking if I had friends that could serve for one of his gigs. And I was like, I'll do it. So that's how I got into that. And then eventually ended up being his ops manager. I left that earlier this year. But what a great job. That one took a toll on me for sure. But it was a lot of fun and I learned a lot about what I could do. Um, because originally I started as serving and then I ended up, being the core contact for his business and writing all the contracts and kind of advertising for him. But I was also, he used me as a private chef as well with the skills I learned at Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah,
Because I didn't go to culinary school, but as you know, you
yeah,
have to go through all of like the different stations and learn each station and be able to cook like the core items and know all the ingredients. So that helped me a lot with what I was doing with the catering. So I was there. Um, and then from a lot of this overlaps too. So at the country club, someone had told me that a jazz club or music venue was looking for servers. So I ended up working there. It actually ended up being in my hometown, and it was called Uncle Chief. They recently closed. So he's actually the owner. It's a husband and wife duo, Jenny and Ian, the best people I've ever worked for in my entire life.
wow,
They're incredible humans. But Ian is the saxophone player for the Roots. So it was
awesome.
just really cool
Yeah,
kind of being in that world for a little bit. And they had to close just for issues with, multiple issues. It wasn't for lack of interest.
Right.
and they're gonna try to open something up in the Hudson Valley, so we're excited about that. Um, yeah, so I was there. I did a I when those were overlapping, I, like, kinda killed myself again
Yeah.
because I was working day and night. Like, I don't think I got more than 3 hours of sleep a night, and I guess I kinda go all in on things and, realized, something's gotta give, so I ended up it worked out where I kinda ended up leaving both of those, and, recently, as of June this year, I started as a food rep for Gordon Food Service, yeah.
Yeah. It's
I
awesome.
think that takes us through the whole
Yeah, the
timeline.
whole time portal there. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Looking back and right now, rank them in order: management, serving, bartender. You did pretty much everything in this business.
Gosh, that's
How would
so
you rank them?
hard. You can't,
Yeah. It all
but
ties into one, huh?
if you're forcing me to,
Right.
mm, I don't know what you just named, but so I would say bartender number 1.
Okay. More
And I
fun,
would
right?
say it's so much fun, and
Yeah.
it's like, people are there for you to banter with them, and yeah, you gotta put on a show, but it's fun, like, it's always fun, and I think specifically with the restaurant industry where it's like, food costs, labor, product, it's not that, you're in the industry of people, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
So that I would say number 1, and that's where I forgot to mention my mobile bar business. So that's where that came from too, my passion for bartending. I wouldn't say I'm not a great bartender, but,
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. 1 bartender, maybe server number 2. I'd say management is probably on the bottom. No offense to you, because I know you're a manager,
I
but,
take it
like,
to heart. I take it to heart right here.
I
Arrow.
mean, you know where I'm coming from, and I
Yeah, of
think
course.
it's not for everyone, and I think I've had so many people tell me that, like mentors, like, "I think you have it in you, but it's not for everyone, so you'll see." And you have to have a certain kind of drive and determination, and for me, it's not that I didn't have drive and determination, I didn't have drive and determination for that. So, it wasn't for me, in that aspect in, like, the corporate world. But I will say that out of managing for any other, like, corporate restaurant, I would say, like, Cheesecake Factory is, like, awesome because they have their systems. When everything is working the way it should, it's a well-oiled machine for sure. But as you know, things don't always work the way they're supposed to.
It's a fact. That's a
Yeah.
fact. She's Leah Villaro, former manager of Cheesecake Factory, now working at one of the largest family owned businesses at Gordon Food Services. Let's talk about family. Many may not know this about you. You were adopted as a baby, but grew up in a white community, colored person. You tend to forget what it means to you. That kind of stuck with me. Tell us about that. And you care to ever meet your biological parents one day? I'm sure it's crossed your mind.
Yeah, yeah, so this goes way back. So, yeah, I was adopted as a baby, maybe, like, near 1 years old or something from the Philippines. My mom went to go get me, and I think she needed a translator or something to go get me, from Manila. I think it was like a Catholic orphanage, and she wasn't allowed. I remember her telling me she wasn't allowed to hold me because of like child theft, like kidnapping was a thing there. I don't know, but so the translator had to hold me the whole time, and then I don't know where exactly it was, but she finally was able to hold me, and yeah, it was good for her. So yeah, my family is predominantly white. I think my mom is Portuguese, English, some kind of mix of European, my father too, Czechoslovakian, Scottish, I believe, as well. Um, yeah, and then we lived in, like, suburban Western Connecticut.
Yeah.
So very predominantly white base, and it never really dawned on me, like, "You're different." I wasn't growing up that way, I wasn't treated differently until I grew up a little more, and it wasn't, like, in school or anything, it was just from strangers. But yeah, I often forget I am actually a colored person, which nowadays is a little scary. But yeah, so yeah, it's interesting because I didn't really go into, what my culture is. I had interests. I like would buy books and try to watch little videos about the Philippines, and
Right.
it wasn't that it didn't interest me because it does interest me where I come from, but I'm so immersed in my culture now today, which is predominantly here. Um, so it never really dawned on me. And do I want to meet my biological parents? It wouldn't change me, I don't think. When I was younger in high school, we had like a little project we were supposed to do. It was called our senior project. I didn't ultimately go into doing what I'm about to talk about, but you were basically given ugh, like a white canvas. What do you want to focus on for your senior year in high school? And I ended up doing like a recording studio thing, whatever. But one of the ideas I had was to research and find my biological parents. Not necessarily because I had an aching desire to, but I just thought it would be cool.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I told you, but I would always make up stories when people asked about like my heritage. And
What would you tell them?
I would like I don't know, you know how, like, sometimes I can get so serious with, like, a straight face and, like yeah, so I'd be like well, when I was younger, I think I was 12 at the time, my parents actually sold me to a man for a goat and a plot of land, and I think it went really well for them, and I'm just happy to be in America, and people would, like, be like, "What is she
Yeah.
saying?"
They
And then I'd start cracking up, and I'd be like, "Yo, I'm just kidding."
That's hilarious.
Um Yeah, but I don't know my background. I don't know my history or what my story is, and I don't think it would change me at all. So I have fun and from for telling that story, I have fun with just the ambiguity of it and not knowing. Like it
I
is what
see.
it is. I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Your family, you guys try to make amends here and there. It's a tough thing, right? Family strain, negativity. Why do you think that is? And family can be so difficult at times, right? We all go through it, right?
Yeah. So I don't talk to my family much. Are we trying to make amends? I see my mother every now and then for brunch in a public place. But you know, I love my family for who they are and I think I said this to you. I just didn't love how they were with me and who it made me. And it's hard because when you're growing up, you're told like your family is your family and those are your people and you need to be loyal to them and do whatever they say, but people forget, like, sometimes that's not a good thing, like, sometimes they're not telling you to do the right thing, or sometimes what they want isn't what's good for you or what you want, and you need to almost be brave enough to take that leap and go against everything that you've been taught for your own good, and is that selfish? I don't think so. I think I need to do what's best for me to set an example for other people who might be struggling through similar situations or, you know, we're told to stay in a situation because we're told that's what we're supposed to do. And often that's not the right thing. So are we trying to make amends? Yes. Would I love to talk to them more? Yes. If it's at the cost of my mental health or my family's, no, not at all.
Do you remember the first time you learned you were adopted, and how did that shape you understanding of yourself growing up?
Honestly, I don't remember. I don't remember my parents telling me, but I remember telling the other kids that I was purchased from overseas.
Poor little kids, they probably believe it too. Mommy and daddy, oh, my friends
Traumatize
got
these kids.
yeah.
Well,
Oh
meanwhile,
my
I'm like a
god.
5-year-old.
Yeah. Man, they probably told their mom and dad when they got home.
Oh my god.
Man, oh man. Jeez.
Yeah. And how did that shape me? It really didn't. And so our family, I have 2 brothers. I have a younger brother who's also adopted from the Philippines, not blood related, and I have an older brother, Seth, who's their biological child. Actually, they both worked at Cheesecake Factory too. And, you know, like any maybe you don't know. So like a lot of times people would like the biological sibling would be like, "Well, you're adopted," or even amongst siblings who were all biological children, people would be like, "Well, they're adopted," and like joking like it's a bad thing. And so my brother would do that. My older brother, like, "Well, you're adopted," and like I would retort something like when I got older, I would retort like, "Well, I was chosen. Like they picked me. You were an accident, and you were an accident so bad that they wanted to adopt."
Man, that's a good zinger right there.
We were rough. I mean, we
Yeah,
bullied each other just like kids do, but it was did it shape me in any way? I think I was proud of it, to be honest with you.
yeah. What are some misconceptions you had about adoption when you were younger?
Again, I don't know. Again, this is going back to, like, when I before I could say my ABCs maybe, so I'm not sure. I don't know if I had any kind of notion of it or what it meant or whatever. I knew that it meant that I was different, but I didn't feel different. And I feel like I deflected that by joking about it, like I was purchased overseas or
Yeah.
like I was chosen. So I don't think I really felt anything different. I just knew that I was supposed to be different in a way, but I didn't feel different.
Your adoptive parents, did they share anything about your mom, your parents, or anything in your life? They taught you anything about,
I
anything,
think
any
it was a
background?
I think it was a closed adoption. Again, I didn't do a lot of research into that unless it was more of like a until I am 18, then I could go find them kind of
Okay.
situation. But there's a lot of different ways you can go about finding your biological parents now, for sure. Yeah.
How do you navigate conversations? Adoption, friends, partners, coworkers. You just told me years ago when we first met. I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." But it's pretty much easy for you as you get older, right? As you grow, you kind of
What was the
learn
question? How do I navigate conversations?
patience. Yeah, about adoption, family,
Oh,
friends,
yeah. I
partners.
mean,
Yeah.
I don't even think it's like a thing. It's not a taboo for me. I know for some families it might be. No, it's just so normal to me. I don't even think of it like, yeah, so it would just come up in random conversation. Like if people asked about my family, I just have to explain, yeah, I'm adopted. Or sometimes I would forget to say that and they're like, but they're white.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Because your adoptive family, like, they help you navigate, like, you're not one of us, you're Filipino, but you're part of us now. Is that kinda thing?
Yeah, we didn't really go over the Filipino culture. I know my mom used to like buy Filipino history books for me and things like that just to kind of bring me closer to the culture
Yeah,
a little bit,
right.
but it wasn't really a thing. Like I grew up with my family that way. It wasn't really about where I came from. Plus, I was a baby. So, what I know is only what I know. And I hate that phrase, but I didn't know anything of it. But I did have a friend. So at the Catholic orphanage, there was a group of kids, and I think a lot of us got adopted in the same and brought to the same area. So, um, there was, a kid I grew up with around the same age, Gregory, one of my childhood best friends, Elizabeth, and then she also had a brother, not blood related, but also from the Philippines, Louis. So Louis was close to Adam, my younger brother, and I was closer to Elizabeth. And they went back to the Philippines actually, and she brought back like a few little trinkets for me and explained, what her experience was there. And this was so long ago, I don't even remember. But I think I was just, again, I was so immersed into my American culture here that, I kind of didn't realize the importance of where I came from. Again, now it's like it's more of just a curiosity, not like an aching desire.
Is there anything about your adoption story that brings you joy, pride?
I mean, just that I was given such a great opportunity just being here. And I'm sure just from the other things that I was saying, I would come up with crazy stories like, well, if I was in the Philippines, I'd be XYZ. So, there's just I don't know what my life would have been there because 'cause I'm not there, but I know what my life is here, and the amount of opportunity that I've had because of being here is immense. It's immeasurable. It's incredible too. So, I forget what your question was now, but, um, yeah, there's just a lot I'm proud of the opportunity that I had here.
Looking back, your story, incredible. Would you adopt at all, if any? Has it crossed your mind?
Yeah, I think I would. Also too, a lot of, well, I guess I'll touch on this now. Like, I can't have kids anymore. I did have my eggs frozen and everything, so now it's like not even an option. My husband is a little older than me too, so we've kind of talked about that, and I think that ship has sailed. And I didn't think we really wanted to, but generally speaking, like all other situations removed, would I adopt? Yes, absolutely. I'd love to give a child who needs a home, a place, a safe place. Yeah. There's also, like, fostering too is another thing, as well, another option out there for people, but, yeah, absolutely.
Amazing. She's Leah Valero. former manager at Cheesecake Factory, now working at one of the largest family owned businesses at Gordon Food Services. I saw a story on your IG story a couple weeks ago, and it got me thinking, like, I need to have Leah on the show to catch up, just reminisce. And here we are. I mean, your dog from high school just passed. Now you have another dog, but how sad was that whole experience?
Really sad. His name was Bosley, and I don't even know what kind of dog he was, but that was my rock growing up. We got him when I was in a sophomore in high school. So this is going way back. This dog was just, I think my mom said he was 16 and a half when he passed just the other week.
Wow, lived a long
So he
time.
lived a good life. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was good. Like, like dogs don't last forever. But it was really sad just, and I was trying to find pictures of him too, and they were obviously old because I hadn't really gone back to the house much, but yeah, he and I would just chill in my room. Again, I was in high school trying to figure out the world and my life, and I just had this really patient, kind dog, and, he had had his own story too, which we didn't know, but, my mom and my little brother and we went to go I don't even know where we were. We were in the middle of a field with a bunch of dogs, and we picked that one, and we brought him home, and he had a very negative reaction to my dad and my older brother, so he must have been abused by men, I guess. I'm not quite sure, but anytime, like, my dad or my brother would approach him, he'd start barking or, like, cower. Ultimately, he, like, opened up to it and he was fine, but, I think we or I needed Bosley as much as he did us. But it was, yeah, sad to see that he had passed, but he lived a very long, good life.
How is your dog now? You have a new dog now, right? What's his name?
He's not even new, but, yeah, he is he's he's 13 now, I think, 13 as of August, so he's up there as well, and, that's Pepe.
Pepe.
Originally, I wanted to name him Chewbacca.
Lover.
He's a Yorkie mix.
Okay.
Yeah, so he when his hair is, like, super long,
Right.
he looks like Chewbacca.
Yeah.
He's awesome, he's full of energy, and he's 13 years old, so he's had his, like, health complications as well, but he's good. Like, he looks like a puppy too, but, he's awesome.
One of your many hobbies, singing. I've seen you in action before, social media over the years, and it got me thinking as you were singing to your dog. Um, Singing is like it just brings a lot of, you know, cures a lot of things in you, like mind, body, spirit, just like helps you with a lot of things. Do you have a song for us today? I know I'm putting you on the spot here. I know
You
we talked
were.
about it a little bit.
You
Are
were
you
putting me on the spot.
are
Yeah,
you are you
so
ready to go? The name of the
yeah.
song? What made you choose the song?
So music has always been like an outlet for me, a healer for me, just as I think most any other musicians. It's more about their passions and emotions rather than like the uh, structure of it. I don't know what I'm saying about that. But yeah, that's always been a crutch for me. It's more of just an outlet for me to get whatever I'm getting out. I just enjoyed singing, and honestly, I started doing songwriting just because I couldn't like, play other people's songs, so I just made up
Right.
my own.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to maybe position this up a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Sure.
Sorry.
How
And
was
then
songwriting though? Is it easy to write songs and stuff like that? Is it
yes
challenging
and
or
no. Sometimes
okay.
the songs will write themselves, and other times, it's like hitting your face against a brick wall trying to get something out.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So,
So
this one
what's the
I
name of the
wrote
song? Yeah.
it's called Love is War,
Love is War. Okay.
and it's not about really my an exact personal experience, but in general. It's, more of a sadder song, and it's about, like, a breakup. Um, I wrote this maybe 2 years ago. I had gone through, like, a crazy writer's block of maybe, like, 10 years, and then sometimes just songs just, like, come to me. So, this one, I don't ha I don't have, like, a great, musical talent, but I'll play it for you.
No, you do. Stop it. You do.
Can you see in here fine?
Yeah, 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 for sure. For sure.
Alright, let's see. Don't judge me. Can you hear it fine?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're good.
Want you to know. Never meant for actually, sorry, I'm gonna have to do this.
Just
Alright,
no
like, this
problem.
is low. I want you to know never meant for this, but the pushing and pulling tore my heart to pieces. Can we lay down our swords? I just wanna talk. But the storybook romance didn't go the way that I thought. One last time, I'll be gone. Come sunrise. Love is more, so let's be kind. Let's put it away. Starry night, cover me, dressed in white, picture perfect, frozen in time. Wait, how could you let us go? Don't leave all this love out here in the cold. I want you to know, give it my all. The higher we climb, the harder we fall. I wave my white flag, I played all my cards. I surrender, I fold, no more ways to hurt my heart. So hold me now, one last time. I'll be gone. Come sunrise, of this war, so let's be kind. Starting night. Cover me, dressed in white, picture perfect, frozen in time. Wait, how could you let me go? Don't leave all this love out here in the cold. So I cut it a little short, but that is
Bravo,
Love is
bravo,
War.
bravo, bravo, bravo. My goodness. Growing up, did you ever consider being a singer? Who was some of the singers you look up to and wanted to like,
Maybe. So when I was sorry, I'm moving you again just
yeah,
so I can
yeah,
sit down and we can be done
sure,
with the piano.
yeah,
When I was younger,
right,
you know how like when you're first meeting a person and you ask them a million questions that are
yeah,
totally irrelevant, trying to get to know them. So one of the
sure,
questions that I ask people are like, when you were 5, what did you want to be when you grew up? So I would always have an answer for that for
yeah.
myself. But when I was younger, I wanted to be a slew of things: a farmer, a photographer, an astronaut, and a famous pop singer.
There you go. And that was it. That's it. Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's actually taking me a lot to share that just because my music is more for myself, not really, not that I wouldn't share it. Just the purpose for me is more for my own healing and my hobby than to put out there. But I mean, any of my friends or anyone who would interact with me would know that I'm like singing all the time.
All the time. All
All
the
the
time.
time. Yeah, all the time. Uh,
Who's your
yeah.
favorite singer? Do you ever want to meet one day if you ever had a
Gosh.
chance to meet? What sort of things would you even ask them?
I don't know. So I don't have a favorite. I mean, I admire a lot of musicians out there. And I just find like immense qualities and talent in a lot of different people in different ways. So do I have a favorite? Or no. Um Do I find, like, different ones and made like, I think Lady Gaga has an incredible voice. I love Adele's vocal range as well, and the power behind her voice. But, like, I don't know, like, I like a lot of other people too, so would I ask them anything? I don't know. I'm not one of those starstruck people, um, and I wouldn't know what to ask them either. Because I feel like I would ask them such a random question, like, if I, like, met Lady Gaga on the street, I'd be like, "Yo, what's your favorite drink?" Like,
Yeah.
it wouldn't even be about music.
Yeah.
But she's not like a crazy idol, just like someone who I think has, a really powerful voice.
What type of music you listen to, by the way, these days?
Oh gosh. So, pop, metal, country. I just got back from Orlando. I was at Warp Tour, which was incredible. That's like emo punk rock.
Wow.
So I have a pretty wide range there, yeah.
Thoughts on music, though, now versus back in the 80s, the 90s. What's the biggest difference in your opinion? Because I can't stand music today.
It's hard. It's hard to find what you enjoy. And I think for me, I like a wide range of music, and it's not just the sound for me. Like, I'm looking for a feeling when I'm listening to something. Like, am I putting this music on to like jam out in the shower? And is
Right.
this like my workout music?
Right.
Am I feeling sad and want to listen to like some really cringy sad music? Like the difference, I a lot of a lot of people that I've come in contact with that don't like this generation's music will complain about it being more electronic and not like instrumentally talented in a way. But in their defense, in the musician's defense, I mean, you need to have a really good understanding of music in general to be able to create songs and do like your electronic music and everything. And it's the same thing with you're picking up a guitar and doing your riffs. And, there's a lot of different talents and, what's the word? Like wisdom or education behind each different instrument, whether it's a sound pad that you're hitting or a guitar that you're strumming. So I think both sides need to open their minds a little bit. But I see what you're saying. Like there's some music like the pop music now, it's like just there's not much depth to the lyrics. It's a lot of profanity. But then there's like those gems that you find that like, wow, that's a powerful, very well written song. And it could easily just be one person on a piano, not like your whole background production of like electronic music. So yeah, I guess that's the difference.
She's Leah Vararo, former manager of Cheesecake Factory, now working at one of the largest family owned businesses, Gordon Food Services. Very touchy subject coming up here. Let's take a quick break, Leah. Let's come right back. Don't go anywhere. Stick around. We'll be right back. All right.